You know what absolutely grinds my gears? Watching two of the most electrifying luchadors on the planet throw away everything their legacy stands for because they can't control their egos for 5 seconds. And the fact that Rey Mysterio, the living legend who paved the way for every single highflyer in this business, had to step in and physically separate Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo like they are children in a schoolyard, that's not just embarrassing. That's a slap in the face to Lucha Libre itself. But here's what really makes my blood boil, and tell me in the comments if you disagree. These two are supposed to be the future of Lucha Libre, and instead of elevating the art form, they are out here acting like it's a street fight in a parking lot. The lack of respect is astounding, and we need to talk about what happened at AAA Alianzas because this situation is spiraling out of control fast. Let me set the stage for you. AAA Alianzas was supposed to be a showcase of unity, a celebration of the alliances that make Lucha Libre the most exciting wrestling product on the planet. Instead, what we got was chaos, disrespect, and a masterclass in how not to represent your craft. Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo, two men who should be carrying the torch for the next generation, decided that the middle of an AAA event was the perfect place to settle their personal vendetta. And look, I get it. These two have history. The tension between them has been building for months. Dragon Lee, the high-octane machine who's conquered both Mexico and the United States, representing CMLL and now making waves in AEW. Then you've got El Hijo del Vikingo, arguably one of the most innovative and death-defying performers in the world today, AAA's crown jewel. When you put two alpha males like this in the same space, sparks are going to fly. But there's a time and a place for everything, and AAA Alianzas wasn't it. Now, before we go any further, quick question for you: who do you think has had the better 2024, Dragon Lee or El Hijo del Vikingo? Drop your answer in the comments because I want to see where the Wrestling Zone community stands on this. So what actually went down? The tension was palpable from the moment both men were in the building. You could cut the atmosphere with a knife. Reports from those backstage say that there was an altercation that started verbal but quickly escalated physical. Dragon Lee and Vikingo started throwing hands, and not the choreographed kind we're used to seeing in the ring. This was real animosity, real anger, and it was spilling out for everyone to see. Security tried to intervene. Other wrestlers attempted to play peacemaker, but these two were locked in, determined to tear each other apart right there in front of the AAA faithful. And that's when the unthinkable happened. Rey Mysterio, the man who's done it all, who's in the twilight of his legendary career, had to step in and physically put himself between these two younger competitors to restore order. Let that sink in for a second. Rey Mysterio, who's given his body, his health, his life to this business for over 3 decades, had to risk getting caught in the crossfire of a brawl that had nothing to do with him, just to save two guys from destroying their own careers and reputations. The visual alone should shake every wrestling fan to their core. Here's the master, the sensei, the godfather of modern Lucha Libre, being forced to parent two grown men who should know better. And here's where I want your opinion: is Rey Mysterio doing too much for younger talent? Should he have just let them fight it out and face the consequences? Comment below because this is a legitimate question. The symbolism of that moment is powerful. Rey Mysterio standing between Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo isn't just about stopping a fight. It's about one generation trying to protect the legacy of Lucha Libre from the recklessness of the next. Rey knows what's at stake here. He understands that Lucha Libre isn't just about flippy moves and high spots, it's about honor, respect, and representing your culture on the biggest stages possible. Dragon Lee and Vikingo are supposed to be the standard bearers. They are supposed to be the ones that casual fans point to and say, that's what Lucha Libre is all about. Instead, they are giving people ammunition to dismiss them as unprofessional, hot-headed, and unable to handle their emotions. Do you know how damaging that is? Not just to them personally, but to every luchador trying to break into the mainstream. Let's talk about Dragon Lee for a second. This man has incredible talent. His work in CMLL was outstanding, and his transition to AEW has shown that he can hang with anybody on any stage. He's got the pedigree, coming from the legendary wrestling family that includes Rush and Dralistico. But with great lineage comes great responsibility, and lately, Dragon Lee has been letting his emotions get the better of him. His intensity is both his greatest strength and his Achilles heel. On the flip side, you've got El Hijo del Vikingo, who might be the most naturally gifted athlete in Lucha Libre today. The things this man does in the ring defy physics. His work in AAA has been nothing short of spectacular, and his appearances for AEW and other international promotions have made him a global sensation. But here's the problem: all of that goodwill, all of that positive momentum can evaporate in seconds when you can't control yourself outside the ring. What drives me crazy is that both of these men have everything to lose and nothing to gain from this kind of behavior. You want to settle your differences? Fine. Do it in the ring, where it matters, where it's structured, where it can draw money and elevate both of your profiles. Give the fans what they want to see, an epic match that steals the show and cements both of your legacies. But don't do it backstage where it just looks messy, unprofessional, and damages the reputation of AAA as a promotion. Here's another question I need you to answer. Do you think AAA should have suspended both Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo for this incident? Let me know what punishment, if any, you think fits this situation. Now, let's give credit where it's due. Rey Mysterio's intervention wasn't just about physical separation. It was about setting an example, about showing these younger talents that there's a right way and a wrong way to handle conflict in this business. Rey has been in their position before. He's had heated rivalries, personal vendettas, and moments where his emotions could have gotten the better of him. But he always channeled that energy into his work, into creating moments that fans would remember forever. That's the difference between a legend and a talent. Legends understand the bigger picture. They understand that you're not just representing yourself, you're representing your family, your promotion, your culture. Every time Dragon Lee or El Hijo del Vikingo steps out of line, it reflects poorly on Lucha Libre as a whole. And that's something Rey Mysterio simply cannot allow, not after spending his entire career building up the prestige and respect that Lucha Libre commands today. The AAA Alianzas event was supposed to showcase the best of what Lucha Libre has to offer. Instead, it became a reminder of the growing pains the industry faces as it tries to balance tradition with the egos and ambitions of a new generation. The question now becomes, what happens next? Can Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo move past this? Will AAA book them in a match to settle this once and for all? And more importantly, will they learn from this experience? Because here's the reality: talent only takes you so far in this business. If you can't be trusted to conduct yourself professionally, if you can't handle adversity without resorting to childish behavior, then all the athleticism in the world won't matter. Promoters will stop booking you, fans will stop supporting you, and your legacy will be defined not by your incredible matches, but by your inability to act like a professional. One more question before we wrap this up: who would you rather see Rey Mysterio team with, Dragon Lee or El Hijo del Vikingo? Give me your dream tag team scenario in the comments. The AAA Alianzas incident is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that respect and professionalism matter just as much as skill and charisma. Rey Mysterio stepping between Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo should be seen as both a blessing and a warning. A blessing because they have someone who cares enough to guide them. A warning because if they don't get their act together, they'll squander the incredible opportunities in front of them. Lucha Libre deserves better. The fans deserve better. And frankly, Rey Mysterio deserves better than having to babysit grown men who should know how to act. If Dragon Lee and El Hijo del Vikingo want to be remembered as legends, they need to start acting like it. Otherwise, they'll just be cautionary tales of wasted potential. What do you think? Was Rey Mysterio right to intervene, or should he have let them handle it themselves? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you want to see these two settle it in the ring, and don't forget to subscribe to Wrestling Zone for more hard-hitting wrestling content that doesn't pull punches. We'll see you in the next one.